CBS News correspondent Lilia Luciano joins us now from Cucuta, Colombia. This is right next to the Venezuelan border with a reaction there to what's happening. Lilia, good morning to you. How is that part of the world responding to this seismic development?
Well, we are, Errol, just to give you a scene setter here, we are on the border between Colombia and Venezuela. As you remember, we were the only team of U.S. correspondents. Well, I was the only correspondent, and Walker here with me was the only producer from a U.S. network inside Venezuela during last year's election. This time around, we have not been allowed to go in. So as you can see, there are many cameras here, many crews trying to get into Venezuela to hear what things are like from inside the country. That said, we have been hearing from people coming in and out. And the reason why you're seeing these armored vehicles here is because whenever things collapse in Venezuela, when there is mass chaos, when there's the possibility of violence or mass migration, Colombia has to prepare. Last night, I was talking to the Minister of Defense, and he explained to me that one of the biggest concerns is that if, in fact, Venezuela starts tackling their organized crime over there, which hasn't happened at a great scale before, that violence and those people might spill over across the border and affect Colombia. Here's a little bit of what's happening inside Venezuela at this moment.
In Caracas, Venezuela's capital, residents rushed to the supermarket and lined up at pharmacies and gas stations, stocking up. There's anxiety and desperation, this woman says, and we don't know what will happen. Venezuela's future hinges on who will run the country and how, following nearly 3 decades of authoritarian rule by Nicolás Maduro and before him by the late Hugo Chavez. In Venezuela, supporters of Maduro's regime made it known. Our president is Nicolás Maduro, this protester says. The country's interim president is Delcy Rodriguez, a longtime leading figure of the regime. She was oil minister and has been Maduro's vice president since 2018. Nailin Peña is among millions of Venezuelans who fled the regime. She's in Colombia hoping to return, but is skeptical of Rodriguez.
Nothing's going to change, you think? Nada va a cambiar, Chris. No.
We were in Caracas during the last presidential election when the city erupted in protest against the regime, despite the opposition showing evidence that they won with nearly 70% of the vote. Maduro continued his reign. Peña is among the many Venezuelans abroad wondering why President Trump is negotiating with regime figures instead of supporting the opposition leader, María Corina Machado.
Respecto a la figura de María Corina Machado.
Todo el mundo vio lo que vio y todo el mundo vio lo que vio y resultados no fallan.
Everybody saw what happened, and the results are not wrong, meaning that it was the opposition who won the election. Over the weekend, President Trump said that María Corina Machado and the opposition don't have the support or the respect to run Venezuela. That caused a lot of frustration among the supporters of the opposition, but I've heard from Venezuelans who say, look, we're giving the Trump administration the benefit of the doubt in negotiating with the regime figures in power for the sake of stability. We're going to continue reporting here. As you can see, it started raining, but people are continuing to cross back and forth. It's a very dynamic border. Errol.
All right, Lilia, with that live reporting out of Colombia for us with all the latest. Lilia, we appreciate it for you and your team. Go and get dry. We'll see you again soon.